Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've been doing well. Today we are here for greatness. All right, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, to get into for this video. So be warned, it will be a little bit of a longer one. We're gonna go through everything that was revealed, everything that's on display, all that good stuff, with a few cuts in between, just because obviously I don't know everything, but we'll get there. So first things first, we got to get through this 7-day countdown. As you know, it's been going on. 22 items that will be going up for pre-order on the 21st of November. Everything you see here will be going up on the 21st for pre-order. That means if you want this gohan, you need to get them alarms set and ready to go on Japan time. But all of these, at least this one, just in particular to SH Figuarts, this gohan, the Kaiju no 8 figures are general releases. You don't really have to rush to get them. So just be warned, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it. Now, moving on, we're going to quickly take a look at the two new SHFs, anime-wise, of course, that are going to be coming. So Kaiju no 8 is getting a total of 3 characters for the beginning of this line, as they've been doing with new lines since, I would say, last year. Really, this, I feel like, boomed last year, man, with Bleach, One Piece, and then Naruto the year before. Like, it feels like it's really being pushed, right? So we're getting Mina, Sub-White Mina, and she's gonna be 8250 yen, general release, like I said, November 21st for the pre-order date, and releases June 2024. She comes with this really, really, really big gun. So I kind of like that, because you don't really get a lot of characters with guns these days. At least I haven't, and for the different lines that I've bought so far. So it's really different for me, and I probably would like to get that. And we'll take a quick look at him in a second. She also comes with an expression for Kaiju no 8, looking to the side. And yeah, not too bad. I know people don't really like that whole thing, but the Kaiju no 8 figure, he is like a budget release too for how decent he looks. So I guess it makes sense, right? And here is Reno Ichikawa. Same price, same release, or same pre-order date, and his release is May 2024, just a month ahead. He comes with an assault rifle and a gas mask, and of course, different faces and stuff like that. The expression that he comes with for Kaiju no 8 is, I don't know what to call this, but opening mouth expression. That tongue might be articulated enough where you can like rotate it or whatever, but we'll see. But yeah, so far so good. Gonna close these out as we get along into the other stuff. So getting out of there now, what people are really interested about with this Naruto line, right? I'm just gonna say it right off the bat right here, because I know it's been an interesting topic. The store exclusive, let's just nip it in the bud now, right? It's a store exclusive. Let's not really get into the complaints of why isn't it XYZ character, because that argument is going to be immediately just flatlined when you say I want XYZ character, but then you realize, oh, that means that they would have been store exclusive. That's not what we want. Trust me. We've already gotten a premium Bandai release for this line, which still surprises me because it's KCM Naruto. I think KCM Naruto is pretty popular. But yeah, so the last thing we need is more exclusives. And I'm glad that they chose to just do a kind of scuffed Naruto with a different Rasengan. That seems perfectly fine for like $35 in a store exclusive, because it doesn't really matter if you miss it or not. It's not coming with anything that's going to make or break a collection, in my opinion. But getting into this, the top 99 stuff, we got Sakura, we got Minato. Gotta say, really surprised at the direction for the top 99 stuff. I wasn't sure if they were going to commit 100% to the actual wallpaper image that we've seen with all the top 99 like highest voted characters, I think. But it looks like they might be doing that, which brings in some interesting things that I mentioned in a video like 2 weeks ago about the type of accessories that we can get, right? Not just the standard, kunai, whatever kind of, main line attack that they do. You can really get some interesting stuff, like Minato having this 99 Rasengan looking as unique as it does is really cool. Sakura coming with this big old axe, really cool. So I'd love to see what they do for characters like Hinata, for example, who comes with like I don't know what to call it, the fist palm thing, whatever it looked like. Or Itachi, who's going to have a sword potentially. There's a lot of different things that they can do. Now, will they retread on other characters like Jiraiya, who literally just got an event exclusive this year, I don't know. That's where like my question was lying, is like, are they willing to do that? They definitely can, but I think it would be better suited to focus on the characters that don't have any figures yet, or at least new updated ones just yet, in the last 2 years. But yeah, they look pretty great. There is a few photos of them on display when we get to the other links here with Hobby Dengeki. But yeah, I am fully excited for these. Of course, Minato was on a updated mold, so he's gonna have a lot better articulation. But not really a fan of the whole soft. I assume this is soft plastic for the cape here. I don't see why they couldn't use soft goods when they've been doing it so far for Berserk, now for Dragon Ball, for as of today, Chainsaw Man. I mean, I don't know. There's some interesting nuances with it, but it is what it is. And here I'll take a quick look at Makima. This is kind of the product shot, but we'll also see her in a photo, in a second. And yeah, she looks pretty good, but again, it's single jointed knees. She doesn't really do too much, so I can't really judge her on that, right? She's a character who uses her hands for the most part, as far as I've seen in season 1. I've seen a couple of panels from the manga, and she gets pretty weird, bro. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm not sure how they're gonna go about the situation here with her waist, because that looks a little weird. But I mean, she comes with a soft good trench coat. That's new. I love that they're trying to do this more, because God forbid if this would have been a freaking lab coat, like Lab Coat 21. No. I need to see them take more risks with stuff like this, because you got to give us a chance to at least give the feedback and say we like it or we don't like it or change this about it. This is now us getting that chance with anime figures. We just never got that before that point. So very hyped about it. Would have liked to see Aki, but I guess they wanted to kind of have a contest between Figma and say, yeah, ours is better than yours. So that's pretty much it for that so far. Now, first things first, I'm going to say I'm not going to go through and talk about every single picture. I will talk about the mainline anime stuff that I do cover, but for other stuff that I'm not super familiar with, I'll just briefly browse through the page and talk about it. So for most part, this first link here that we're looking at, or first tab, is going to have a decent bit of interesting stuff to talk about. So this is the Kaiju no 8 stuff. Doesn't look horrible. Looks pretty good. I really love the dioramas that they do. I wish you could buy those. But they look pretty cool. Moving on though, because we want to get into the new stuff. Come on. There's a lot of pictures. There we go. So here's an actual in-person shot of Makima. The coat, again, not too bad. I do like it. I just am not sure what they're going for with the crotch to torso area here. It looked kind of weird. We'll see. But I don't know, man. They're going to have to make some really weird expressions for Makima with her just staring you down, because holy shit. She is a weird character, all right? I want to see Aki, though. That is who they need to announce soon, because I'm not buying the Figma. It's too expensive, bro. Eustace Kid, very, very interesting one, right? I'm going to point out one thing about him that I don't like right now, and that is that neck. That neck is wild, bro. Look at that. I don't know about the seams right here. I think this just looks kind of weird with the way it is, because it's smooth right here. It's not matching the ridges, so it's kind of hard to I don't know. It just looks off. But that's a small complaint right now. Overall, the guy looks great. I love it. Very vibrant. I love when figures are very vibrant with their colors. Again, love these articulated fingers that we're gonna get. Hopefully he's not too far off for release, because I would hate for him to be September or October release of 2024 when we've got the other, mainline cast. I don't want to say mainline cast. The more epic moments, of this final fight of Onigashima earlier in the year, right? I don't know if I want to wait that long, but I would like to see if they're going to announce any Straw Hats. That would be great. They don't need to say which ones. They just need to at least announce that they're going to do them, because that is kind of where people are most frustrated, is not having any other Straw Hats right now. So we will see. But yeah, he looks pretty good. There's Law, and here's the top 99 stuff. There's Sakura. I really like this one. It's pretty cool. I wasn't banking on getting any dupes of certain characters like this, except like Naruto. But I mean, hey, it's different enough that I'd warrant getting it. It does look a little bit more vibrant. Does it? Yeah, it looks kind of more vibrant for me. And I mean, it's a different hair sculpt too. So, you know, I'm for it. And then there's Minato. Looks great. Just, I don't know. We'll have to see if this is like, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. But it looks good. All right. This is some statues. We might be getting to the end here, and then we'll have to go to the other link. Okay. Here's Tanjiro. Now, Tanjiro is a 50-50 for a lot of people, right? But I think a lot of people are going to like Tanjiro for SHF. He seems to be pretty good. Obviously, him having sculpted, sleeves and stuff like that, as opposed to it being like a soft goods Haori for him, it'll get in the way of articulation somewhat, but I still think he can hit really good poses. Nezuko is also there, and that is one that I'm not too like excited for, just based off of looking at it, because it doesn't look like she'll be able to do too much. But I do understand that they don't really pose things the best at these events sometimes. So maybe when we get an actual breakdown of her, we'll see. So I'm hoping that she has some leg articulation under there, and the robe or skirt piece is not like hard plastic or super hard soft plastic, if that makes sense. They've got this formula that they've been kind of running off and on with characters that have robes and skirts that doesn't make sense to me. They have a formula that works, but they don't consistently use it. So we'll have to see if they are going to use the one that works or it doesn't work. But moving on to the other picture, so we can kind of get a better look at Tanjiro. You can see some extra bits of articulation here. So he can, what looks to be, sit down on his knees without the exchanging of leg parts, which is what the Buzz mod does. So it's not too bad. Looks pretty good. Again, this part though, questionable. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, Lab Coat 21 has something similar, I think, with the ball hinge peg in the back, and I mean, it works. It's just, I don't know. I like the seamless look of a soft goods Haori for him. But again, like I said, he looks good and looks like he'll pose pretty decently. I could imagine that some the sleeves, for example, like I said, might get in the way of articulation, but again, he for hopefully what the price he'll be, it'll be worth it. And I do think it will knock at least Figma out the water. Buzzmod, you're paying a little higher for a little bit better quality in terms of articulation and kind of the goods you're getting. With swordsman characters with Tamashii, they have been priced a little higher, around like the $50-$60 mark. So I don't know. We'll have to see. If they give him an effect, at least give him like the water wheel or Hinokami Kagura, like, or the water dragon, stuff like that. I would highly appreciate it. And then there's Nezuko just standing there. We'll definitely see more pictures of her later on. I believe they said January is when we'll get more details on Tanjiro, so gotta stay tuned until then. Faceplates look okay, not too bad. Kind of a stern expression. It doesn't look like his scar. Yeah, his scar is the same. So we'll definitely be getting different Tanjiros, that's for sure. But yeah, he looks good. Like I said, the fact that he can do this without having to change out the legs is really good. Now, I'm going to skip through Nezuko because it's just arm movements. I think that's almost about it. Okay, so here's where my dilemma kicks in with this SH Monster Arts Yu-Gi-Oh line. I love that they're releasing the monsters. Blue Eyes looks great. Red Eyes Dragon looks great. However, the dilemma I see is that they make these dual monsters, but they don't have duelists to go with them. I get it. You can get away with just getting the monsters out right now, and they look great, don't get me wrong, but that element of having the duelist there with them to recreate like iconic scenes and stuff like that would just make it so much cleaner. Like, I was hoping that they had something like showcased, like a, I don't know, Kaiba figure or something, just so it can go with Blue Eyes, because I could see them doing this for a long time. That's the thing. But I would love to just be able to pair them up together, right? And that's kind of where I see Reveal-Tech, or it's Kaido either using Reveal-Tech or Amazing Yamaguchi, I forgot. But they are making Jaden Yuki from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And he also is going to have Elemental Hero Neos as a posable figure at some point in the future. So that's kind of where, like, I'm seeing I want Tamashii, to take it. Because it would just, like I said, it would just be a cool thing to have. But don't let that stop you from getting the monster art if you like it. You know what I mean? I just would like to see it in the future, especially if we get like Dark Magician and stuff like that, or even the Egyptian God cards. Like it just you get me. You understand what I mean. Tell me in the comments. And here we have Gohan. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it, but yeah, some in-person photos. He looks pretty good. Obviously under some hard light, so if you got a complaint with the colors and whatnot, I would wait for like some better photos without all this hard light on him like that. But at least in this photo, I mean, he looks pretty good. I like kind of the shading around the lower parts of the legs. I really like that bright purple too. I love that it stands out like that. And of course, oh my gosh, the cape with the wires, the bendable cape. Finally, bro, it's about time. These customizers have been carrying for a while now, doing their own and selling them on the market. So Tamashii finally playing catch up for once, with the Dragon Ball line is just crazy. And then of course Gohan with the hair. I love that color. But we're gonna move on. We've seen these, we've seen them. All right, that is the last of this page. Now, this next page is gonna be pretty weird and crazy. So I don't know anything about Rebel Moon, so we're gonna quickly move past that. They look decent, but here we go. Spider-Punk from Across the Spider-Verse. Now, very shocking to me that Tamashii is the one kind of leading the crew right now, because I would have thought we've seen some other, import companies maybe announce something by now at least, but they haven't. And I mean, it's only still the first year that this movie's been out. But Tamashii has already had 3 figures up for pre-order, 2 released, 1 releasing this month, and then a 4th now with Spider-Punk releasing sometime next year. Crazy, right? That they're leading that. And honestly, the Marvel Legends is not horrible. It looks pretty decent. But I mean, this one right here, you definitely are going to get more posability out of it, just naturally, because it's going to have different points of articulation. But also, I mean, who knows what other accessories he'll come with, right? I assume that he would get that kind of homemade teleporter. Oh, God, I can't even remember the name of the thing. The little gauntlet thing. He does have the original kind of copy of it though. So I'm hoping that they have the one that he made for Gwen at the end of the movie. But yeah, I mean, he looks pretty good. Kind of straight out of there. I do hope they can. If it would be cool if they gave him some like word blurbs or something, right? Just to kind of go with it. I don't know, his style, right? It warrants it, I feel. But yeah, we're gonna move on. And Captain Marvel. I think the Captain Marvel figure looks okay in this picture. I think that the head sculpt is fine here, right? That is my opinion. It looks okay here. Now, when we get to this picture, it looks really weird. I don't know what's going on with the hair there. The face looks a little strange. Goose looks cool, but yeah, I don't know. Some off things about it. I know it doesn't have a bicep swivel, so that would probably turn some people off. It doesn't look like she doesn't have a thigh swivel either. That's kind of weird. They definitely went back to basics with the Captain Marvel figure just to kind of push it out, it looks like. But yeah, I mean, this shot right here looks okay. If she's cheap, I think it's worth it if you're a Captain Marvel fan. If not, I mean, Marvel Legends exist. Mafex may or may not make one in the future. We'll see. Ideally, for most people, they probably wanted her in her final outfit from the movie. But yeah, this is what we got. Anywho, moving on, because there's some other really random ones, like Aquaman, who's coming. Now, the new Aquaman movie, I believe his suit is black. So, I don't know. He probably goes back into this in the movie at some point, I'd imagine. But yeah, really, really random. Wasn't expecting an Aquaman from them. He does look pretty decent, though, I'll say. No thigh swivel from what I can see there. Bicep swivel. Yeah, I mean, he's bulky. He looks like Jason Momoa a little bit there. Uh, of course, their face sculpts for likeness are hit and miss. They are not always the best with accuracy, and they're not really known for having the best accuracy. So if you're expecting that, I would not, hold them to that standard. They just don't do it that well all the time. Now, oh yeah, so it is from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So at some point, he's gonna get into it. Now, this one, The Flash. This is one that is kind of annoying to me, not because it's just the character. I like the Flash, but this is weird to me. Why don't they give Bicep Civil to the Flash? I don't get it. It seems like an easy cop out. Like, I get it, he's a running character, but there's no reason to like limit that articulation for him. He should definitely still be able to get the same articulation any other figure can. And I mean, unless they did something with the elbows to where he can bend them, either way, I don't really see why they did it that way. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is the weird part about his suit is like, I like that it's supposed to be reminiscent of the New 52 suit from the comics, but all these extra little linings and details across it just make it look weird. Like, if it was just flat, it would be flat texture. It would be kind of better, but that's just my opinion on it. I mean, the face sculpt here with Ezra Miller likeness, because they're probably not going to give us an unmasked head. I could imagine. Maybe they will, but I'm not counting on it. It looks okay, but we do have a Mayfix kind of in the pipeline, so if you want to wait for that, you can. There are pictures of it around if you just Google it. We have some what looks to be Star Wars, I think, Mandalorian characters, yeah. At least troopers. I think troopers are cool, but there are definitely some other characters maybe that I would have considered doing. Yeah, that's all right. The speeder bike and scout trooper, they're cool. They're cool. I would have thought they maybe do some like Ahsoka troopers from like the final few episodes, where we see Thrawn, with, I don't know what to call his army, like they're enhanced, they're dead, or whatever it was that the Night Sisters were doing to him. But that version could have been cool to see. Now, the rest of these are going to be mostly stuff that I'm not really too well versed in, so we'll just kind of take a quick scroll through the pages here. As far as I know, yep, this is a Berserk guy. Be ready, you're spending lots of money in this line, because Berserk has been a heavy hitter so far. Guts, Griffith being in that $100 margin is just wild already. And then you have the new Guts that's probably, I think, already in the $100 mark. Then this guy is probably going to be definitely in the $100 mark, because one, he's huge, and he might come with some other accessories for other characters too. So I definitely could see it being at least in that 80 to 90 range, then shipping and tax or whatever. We saw these yesterday for these Figuarts Zeros. Moving on. We saw this, I think, on I want to say Tuesday or Monday, or maybe farther ago. Don't know what any of these guys are, but cool. This is from Shy. Yeah. Don't know what this is, but for anybody interested in that, hope it's cool for you. I don't know what she's holding there. It looks like a bottle of things for adults, Now, I'm going to quickly scroll through this page too, but I do like Power Rangers, so it was pretty cool seeing this one. I think that's Dino Charge. I want to say, I might have that wrong. There's a lot of freaking iterations of Power Rangers, man. It looks cool, though. Then we got that new Ultraman movie. It's got the little baby right there, too. And then, of course, a whole bunch of Ultraman stuff that I will not go super into. I will leave all the links to these in the description, so if you want to take your time, go for it. This is like a Tales of Arise thing, I think, so not too well versed in that either. Then we have some Tekken stuff here. Don't know either of these characters. I don't play Tekken, but I'm sure a lot of people are hyped somewhat for these. I'm not too sure about the articulation, though. These guys are bulky, so I mean, they're fighting characters, and I mean, I don't know. We'll see. You can't really always judge things before they get a proper showcase, but definitely they are bulky guys, so I'm very curious to see how well you know, range, how much range they can get, at least across the shoulders and legs. Because Jesus, man, look at that. And then the suit too, bro. That's wild. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. And then here's some just Gundam stuff. Nothing too crazy or anything that I really am well versed in, but if you're into that, it's there. So yeah, that is pretty much the conclusion of tonight for SH Figuarts. There's more news. I will be making a separate video about it, and that has to do with the Beast Deity stuff. That's third party. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for a video soon. But yeah, so far from what we've gotten in terms of reveals, it's hype. This 2024 is going to be a mega year for stealing money from you, because wow, this is bonkers. How many lines they want to keep adding, how many new characters that they keep adding. I mean, just looking at Dragon Ball, we're getting like 2 figures per month for like the first portion of 2024, for like the first 3 months. And that's crazy already. And I mean, we're still going to get more Dragon Ball releases after that. Like, Dragon Ball is a priority. On top of that, you got new lines being added that get immediately 3 figures, which, for example, just taking Kaiju no 8 into this, 3 new figures that are going up for pre-order in the span of a week or so, right? On top of all this other stuff that's going up for pre-order too. It's wild. And that's not even thinking about the realm of other companies. So there's just so much to get into, right? And if you're a person that's got a well-rounded interest in things, I feel sorry, because you're gonna have a hard time saying no. It's just too much. There's too much. But without further ado, I think that's where I'm gonna end it. If any other news comes out, community post, check it. That is where it will be the fastest. And yeah, very, very, very excited for these live streams and for them to give us more deets on some of this stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.